Thanks to Audible for supporting Don't Blame Me. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. That's more than half the regular price. Go to audible.com/blame or text blame to 500. That's 500. Starting today, you can hear episodes of Don't Blame Me completely ad-free. Plus, starting December 12th, we'll be bringing you exclusive bi-weekly bonus episodes that you can only hear on Stitcher Premium. To give you guys a little bit of a taste, in the first episode, Melissa lets me go through her dating profile, and I may or may not have then decided that we need to organize a photo shoot to retake some pictures. So we get to talk about her dating life. I'm going to set her up on dates, and one of the things I'm most excited about is callbacks. I don't want to give you guys too much info because you got to find out for yourselves. Sorry guys, it's been a long day, but it's going to be so good. It's basically just more Meghan and more Melissa, which I don't see anything wrong with. For a free month of Stitcher Premium, go to stitcherpremium.com and use promo code BLAME. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. And today, our wonderful patriotic guest is Nikki Limo.
Hey.
Once you guys see the video, you'll understand what I mean.
I just voted.
Patriotic.
I have a sticker that says I voted because I did.
Because you're voted. The best.
Thank you.
I think everyone, are you the only one who's voted out? I mean, as of right
this
now.
Circle that's in this room?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am.
You are.
Well, we're voting, but we are voting.
But they will vote. They are voting. Yeah. They do vote.
I hope you all fucking voted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because this episode will come out.
You better have voted, or else whatever's happening in the world right now is your fault.
It's your fault.
True. Because this episode will come out in December.
Oh shit! So you'll really know if the world is burning.
Yeah. So
you
fuck
will feel
all
bad
of you if you didn't vote and you caused it. And yay if we've changed the world to make it a better place, or a less terrible place.
Yeah, just everyone.
My standards are low right now.
Everyone's
so
playing
low.
Harps and getting along and having sex and
oh my gosh, all I want is just like not like the terrible stuff. I'm like, we don't have to necessarily improve, but like let's just not go backwards.
Stuff. Right.
So
maybe like less murder.
Oh, I'd be into that.
Maybe less murder.
I'd totally be into it. We have a saying here where you can't own an Apple TV and also be a racist. And like, I would just love if we like followed through with that thing of being like, you don't get to like reap the perks of living in this century and then also be a total idiot.
Yeah. I like that rule.
Yeah. Thankfully, all of my friends own Apple TVs. They're not racist.
I have an Apple TV.
I have 2 Apple TVs.
Whoa, you're double not racist. Or does it cancel it out and now you're racist?
Oh, God.
Something to think about.
Shit.
Check yourself.
No, they're too positive. Too positive.
Yeah,
Okay. 2 positives equal positive.
Yeah. That's positive. Positive.
Yes.
So this is an advice podcast. People call in, they leave us voicemails, and then we give them some advice. And our lovely producer here is Melissa.
Hello.
AAA. And our phone number, if you guys want to call in for an upcoming episode, is 310-694-0976. And our email address for international callers is meghanpodcast@gmail.com. And it's going to be good. Are you good at giving advice?
I hope so. I mean, it depends on the type of advice.
Do you give unsolicited advice?
Not unsolicited.
Oh, you're a better person.
It's always
than me.
solicited, but I can't wait to give that solicited advice.
Oh, it opened like I always thought, because I'm an unsolicited advice kind of person.
Okay.
I always thought that I couldn't deep dive more, but then the power that you have when someone actually wants to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
You're like, hold my hoops.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
As long as I have permission. Oh, you're in for a ride.
I'm going in because like now you've signed up for this.
Yes.
Like this isn't just me like trying to tread lightly without being like, I don't want to offend you. I'm like, oh no, you asked.
And here's the thing. I think you're a bad friend if you don't tell the truth.
Oh, I think you are too.
If you're a good friend, you will tell them the things that they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
Or maybe you say something nice and they're like, oh, phew, I was right. And that's cool. But at least they know that they can trust your word. So
I always hate that when friends don't ask your advice on something or your opinion. You're like, please ask me
just
because
dying.
I have one. Like I got one and I really think you should hear it, but I'm not going to tell you until you you ask me what I think.
Sometimes I ask if I can have their permission.
Oh, my friend, she was dating this guy and we went out together and she was like a little tipsy. And then I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. Do you want to come with me? And she's like, sure. And we get in the bathroom. I was like, how drunk are you right now? She goes, I mean, like, I'm a little tipsy. And I was like, I'm going to tell you something and I need you to remember it, but I need you to not be mad at me. And she's like, okay, I feel like that's good. I was like, you need to dump him. He's the worst fucking guy in the entire goddamn world.
That's a good friend.
Okay,
That's a good
you're
friend.
probably right. And then it took like 3 more months before she did.
But she got there.
But at least she got
did.
there.
yeah.
she did.
Breakups are hard to do.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I've ghosted a couple people.
Oh,
That's usually me.
Yeah, I'm a
guys,
ghoster.
no more of that. Don't do this.
But she's in a long relationship now. Like,
now,
okay,
I wouldn't. I tried to ghost him. It didn't work. I would rather. But here's the thing, though. Like, I'm a big believer in like do unto others what you would want done to you. I would rather be ghosted.
Oh,
than
you would
100% than someone be like, "Hey, I'm just not that into." Like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm like,
Really?
it's
Yeah.
like my exes is like 50-50. It's like either like I'm still really good friends with them or I just ghosted them.
With ghosting though,
Yeah.
I just never feel like there's closure when people ghost.
We don't
believe in closure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I need
Be
it.
more inclusive to guests because we're aligned on everything. Like, we don't do that here.
We haven't voted either. So who are we?
We're going to vote. We just were busy this morning. But no, yeah, we don't believe in closure.
Why? Why is that? That's so curious.
Okay, so you know what's so funny? The first conversation we had with this, I think, was Ashley, and Ashley was
Yeah.
wearing a very similar outfit to
She
you right now.
was.
And she
like,
just didn't
I just
get
like
you.
look over and I'm like, wow, I can talk to you about closure. It's like I've already done this.
Yeah, she had on like the exact
Exact
same
same outfit.
outfit.
So funny.
I'm not kidding. Bandana at all.
Ashley. Maybe because you need closure on this
Yeah,
subject.
literally, it's full circle.
It is.
So our feeling on closure is if you need, like, especially in a relationship or anything like that, like whoever was the reason why you ended your relationship's not ever going to be part of like you moving on. Like, I think like if anything, the only time you'd get closure is if you want to talk to your like ex or whatever and like talk it out. You're really going into, you want to get one thing. Like, you want that satisfaction of either like, I fucked up, I really miss you, or all of this stuff. But like most of the time, the answers, you're not going to get the one answer that you're looking for. And the only time closure would happen is if like they end up being a complete and total jerk. And then you're like, okay, yeah, I was right. You're a jerk.
For me, it's like a puzzle, like a jigsaw puzzle, and then there's like pieces missing.
Yeah.
And I just want to finish the fucking puzzle.
But then do they ever help you do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So like years later, like it'll be like 7 years later.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's our
exception.
Yeah, that's the
okay,
exception.
okay.
It has to be years later because it's usually people are trying to get closure in a relationship like within like a couple months.
Oh, no.
And that's not a thing because the only way you can get closure is when you don't need the closure. It's like when you're already good and you've moved on and everything's fine. That's when it happens.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
As soon as you're trying to like tie up loose ends with somebody, like it's
just you.
If you still have like feelings there and stuff.
You're giving them like a way to say, oh no, I messed up.
Yeah.
That's what you're waiting for.
yeah, you're waiting for that moment. Until you're not waiting for that, then you can get the closure because also then you don't give a shit.
What do you feel about closure with friends? Because I've been ghosted by friends
Oh,
before.
I do that all the time too.
Oh, Jesus.
Same. Same.
I just get like
monsters.
I get tired of people.
Yeah. Same. No.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But like good friends or just acquaintances?
It's usually good.
Holy shit. All right.
It takes a while to like actually be my friend, and then I'll just be like, we're not on the same page anymore.
Yeah. And also people who've put in more effort than you for like most of the time. You're like, dude, if this was like, if you put in equally as much effort as I have, we would have not been friends like 5 months
Stop
ago.
being so thirsty.
But like, like you're trying, like you really put all this effort in and I've kind of just like been where you've at. Like, I'm like, okay, sure. But
I get
you
it.
didn't give me the opportunity to prove that like, I don't really give
That
a
you're
shit,
a friend
that
too.
I'm the worst.
Okay. Yeah. I've been ghosted by people where like it takes me a while to become friends with someone too. Cause I like just have trust issues. Cause once you're my friend, I'm like so fucking loyal. And so like very few people are in this like tight friendship circle. And so if one gets in and then they like become a shitty friend, I'm like, how did you make it through the vetting process? How did you make it through this? Like, how did you infiltrate? And then I'm just so confused about like, where did I go wrong? Like, where did I misstep and allow this person in this circle? And it drives me crazy until I can figure out the reason why it didn't work out. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I can let it go.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm just like, why the fuck is that bitch such a bitch?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm just mad. And I don't like to harbor like mad energy or toxic energy. And so it's almost like not getting this piece of the puzzle, like it makes it impossible for me to let that
Got
go.
it.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I'll ghost people and then I just need that distance for a few months and then we'll become friends again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've definitely like let distance happen.
Yeah.
But like full on like not responding to confrontations, I've definitely never done.
I need to reevaluate myself. I'm a shitty person.
Clearly we both do.
I also have terrible anxiety with when I think everyone's mad at me. So I'd rather just not respond to someone and then let them be mad at me and know that's why they're mad at me, as opposed to like,
so you come up with for them to be mad.
So it's not, so like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm like, I think you're mad at me. Like, well, at least if I don't respond, I know why you're mad at me. So then I know, like, I can control that anger.
I see.
Because I'm insane. Just a little bit.
I understand the thought process.
Yeah.
I get that way too. And then I'm just like, wait, but this makes me feel better when this goes away. Because for some reason, this feeling doesn't go away, or it just stays attached. And I'm like, it's better for my aura if I just like confront the issue that I'm scared of.
Which is odd because I'm also very confrontational.
I'm not at all.
No, not. I could not see you. No,
that's why I just ghost people.
Yeah, but like not even in like a oh, I'm scared of that. You're like too much effort.
I'm just like, I don't care. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I guess we can start and give some advice.
Oh yeah, should we give some advice now?
I'm 18. I recently started college, and to put it as simple as can be, I'm not having the most fun. I've kind of struggled with depression for quite a while, more recently through high school, and now I am without some of the friends that I have had throughout high school, and it's really hard making friends here. I've been throwing myself out there like a million different ways, and it just hasn't worked so far, and so I'm really kind of lonely. I'm only about an hour and a half away from home, but it's still kind of far. My sister goes to university only 20 minutes away from our home, and I see her going home on Sundays and having dinner with the family, or my mom coming up and having lunch with her when she has a break from work and different things like that. And really, I'm kind of getting FOMO, you know. I love my roommate, and there are certain things I love about my campus, like the liberal politics and stuff, but I'm just not super happy. And so I've kind of been thinking that at the end of this academic year, I'm going to reevaluate and maybe transfer to the college my sister goes to, which is only 20 minutes away from home. So if I'm lonely and without friends there, at least I'm only 20 minutes away from my family. What do you think I should do? Should I soldier on because this is the university I picked? Should I keep putting myself out there? Should I do what I said by reevaluating at the end of the year? I don't know. Just help me out.
I think this is not so black and white because there's a lot of reasons someone can be unhappy. She mentioned she struggles with depression. And if you have depression, it really doesn't matter if you're at that college or you're at the college closer to your house or you're at home or you're around people, you're not around people, you're going to not be happy. It just is. Like you have depression. If it's outside factors like the stuff at this particular college is stressing you out, or you think that like you're lonely and you'll never make friends here and so you need to go back to your old friends, then I don't know, maybe you'd be a little happier if you knew some people. But I also think that these are like the best parts of your life is the figuring out part, because once you like become happy on your own, you can be happy anywhere. And even if you have depression, you can find ways to work through it and stuff that like gets you past those really, really hard parts. That's like the best piece of life to find. Yeah. You know?
No, I agree. I think, I think you got to figure out exactly what it is about this school that specifically makes you unhappy. And then also, I would say, I don't know if you've talked to your sister about it yet, but talk to her. I think the thing that I learned as a college dropout.
Hell yeah, me too.
Hell yes. What I learned, thank God, I'm always outnumbered. Actually, I'm not always outnumbered. Most of my friends didn't go to college. Actually here because it's LA. Yeah. But usually she's giving me shit for not going to college.
No, it's not for everyone. Statements that you make regarding the college.
I'm like, now that I'm done with college,
you're
she's
like, no, now that when I was post-grad, I was like, but you didn't graduate.
I meant the age.
I was post-dropout.
Yeah. I was like, all of my my friends graduated, so I was the age of post-grad.
Right.
Like,
that makes sense.
It's an age bracket. That's what it is.
It's just easier for people to digest.
It has nothing to do with a degree I did or did not get. But I would say talk to your sister about it and find out if she's happy, because I think as soon as I kind of like swallowed my pride and admitted like to like a couple of my friends being like, so I first admitted to one of my best friends, and she's 2 years younger than us, and she's my best friend's little sister. They're both like my sisters. And I called her like crying, being like, I hate this school. Your sister's so happy at college. Everybody's so happy at college, and I don't know what to do. And she's like literally like a junior in high school, being like, oh Megan, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm so sorry. Like trying to like help me. And she was like panicking and freaking out. And then she was talking to somebody else about it, and their sibling, who was one of my friends, he was like, yeah, my sister's like really hates school. And she was like, wait, Meghan hates school. Mm-hmm. And so then I ended up calling my friend and being like, yeah, this is terrible. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad somebody else had said this. And I think everybody, I mean, it's just like the Instagram highlight reel in general. Yeah. Nobody really likes to talk about or show if they don't love something. Mm-hmm. And especially college, like I felt so much pressure to have such a good time because I don't know, like there's so many movies and TV shows about people going to college, and like it was supposed to be the greatest time ever. And my friends who had older siblings, and it was so cool and fun that I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? I hate it here. Like I'm doing it wrong. And then when I started talking to a couple of my other friends, and they also really hated it and were super miserable, that made me feel a lot better of knowing like, wow, okay, it's not just me.
You're not alone.
And then when I ended up leaving, and two of my other friends, and the friend that I called 2 years later when she went to college, she ended up transferring and going to a different school. And she was able to like talk to me about it, which was nice. All of us I ended up dropping out, but those two ended up transferring to schools that they really, really loved. And I think once you can have like a conversation about it and about what makes you unhappy, and if it's not just the FOMO, because your sister might be like, not that I'm saying like I could be totally off basis, but like she might like be spending so much time at home because she also hasn't made friends, and she's also wondering maybe I'm really relying on being home so much, and that's not why I'm not making friends. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of factors going into it, but I think if it's affecting your mental health and there are aspects that like, are just detrimental to you, then I think reevaluating and making like a decision that's going to make you happy is a good thing. And something that I don't know, I wish someone had told me is like the college experience can be whatever experience you want it to be. Like college, like point blank is school. Yes. Like it's classes, it's getting an education, it's getting a degree. But so much of it right now is relied on the social aspect and like the independence and growing up and doing all of these different things, which that experience works for some people and sometimes it doesn't work for other people. Like my friend just graduated and she went to a 4-year university for a year, dropped out, then went home, did community college, and then moved into another campus, like to a different school, hated it there and was like, fuck it. I'm going to move home. I'm going to just take these classes. I'm going to get it done. And I'm going to do that. And everybody had such a hard time with it because they're like, well, you're going to miss out on all this experience.
Right. I hate when people project that.
And you're like, if I don't like this experience and I don't want this experience, like that shouldn't mean that like I have to endure something that makes me unhappy to get an education when really I just have to get the education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's why I hated my 20s because I'm just not a going out person. Yeah. Like I like being at home with my cats. And I felt so pressured to like, everyone would be like, you need to get out and have fun, have fun. I'm like, yeah, but this isn't fun. I'd go out in a little dress. I'd be fucking freezing cold. Have to stay in a line, which I hate lines, lines. Then I go to this loud club where I can't hear anything. And then some smelly guy is hitting on me and I don't like that. And then I just want to get a drink, but it takes so long to get a drink.
And it's $13.
And it's $13. And then by the time I get a drink, it's like we almost have to go. And it's like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
I never felt like, ooh, that was worth it.
Yeah.
You know? And then when I just finally admitted to myself that like, oh, these are the things I think are fun, which is staying at home and like doing arts and crafts or whatever I'm doing. I felt like a ownership of my own happiness.
Yeah.
And I think that's just something that everyone needs to find. And it is really easy to look on Instagram and see everyone being happy and like having such a cool life. And you think, oh, if I just went to Fiji, like I could be on the beach having a good time too. And then you get to Fiji and you're like, why do I feel so alone still?
Yeah.
It's because you haven't really found your happiness and you're looking at everyone else's, projected sense of happiness. And it just becomes this like dark web that you spiral down when you don't have a sense of self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you gotta I think the end advice would be, I would say reevaluate. I don't think you need to stick it out unless you feel like it's worth it and you feel like you actually like it there. And
and if you know why you're there, like you said, how you're there to get an education. So if there's a field that you're studying that you're actually really passionate about, I think focusing on that will make you more happy. But if you're just there because that's where you're supposed to go and that's what you're supposed to do because everyone else is doing it, then that can definitely contribute to a lot of unhappiness and confusion and darkness.
And you're allowed to have picked the wrong college. Yeah. Fuck it. I mean, don't fuck it, but get your education. Just
do if that makes
do it in a way that's gonna make you happy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Wishing you all the luck. Let us know. And on to the next.
So I'm going to get right to the point. I am almost 23. My boyfriend and I have been together for over 6 years, and we're both close to being done with college and are excited to move on to the next stages in life together. The only problem we kind of are facing right now is that I'm allergic to weed and my boyfriend likes to smoke. He only smokes once or twice a week with his roommates and never when I'm around, but my allergy is getting worse and has gotten to the point where if I even smell weed, I break out in hives. So I have to avoid his apartment and him if he's smoked within the past 48-ish hours. We've had many discussions about how the fact that he smokes could literally kill me and that in our state it's still illegal. And so I'm not a huge fan that he's breaking the law when he smokes, but we're kind of on such different sides of this argument that I have no idea what to do. It almost makes me feel like he doesn't take my allergies seriously and he might see me as a killjoy. Because even though I was in a sorority at one point, I'm not a huge partier when it comes to alcohol and drugs in general. But I really don't care if people smoke weed, but just the fact that he smokes weed really hurts. The problem that we're really facing is that I want to be able to live with him and we're both about to be done with school and we'll probably get married one day, but because of my allergy and his resistance to dropping the habit, I really don't know what to do because my health is kind of on the line. I'm not one to give an ultimatum, but I'm kind of stuck at this point, is saying weed or me a good option. Would really love and appreciate your input.
I've never heard of hives
actually
allergy.
allergic to it.
It's if you handle it and you are allergic to it, then you can get itchiness, red skin, hives, dry, scaly skin, and it can be so bad you go into anaphylactic shock.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. I was going to compare it to, I'm allergic to I'm allergic to everything, but I'm allergic to pineapple, and that's for me. Pineapple is the only one that pineapple and MSG, monosodium glutamate, are the only ones that for me are anaphylactic shock, and that's
can't eat pineapple?
No, but
that sucks, man.
If my boyfriend fucking loved pineapple, he wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Even if it's one of the things, for me, it's I can be physically around it. I just can't touch it. And it would have to be in a plastic bag in the fridge in its separate area.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to kiss him. And he still would even with that, if it's a fruit salad somewhere and I'm not eating it, he'll be oh, no pineapple, because he's well, no, I'm not going to
risk it,
do that at all. Even if we do the safest precautions, he's that's just not necessarily worth it.
Yeah.
So does your boyfriend know how serious
it does sound like he's not taking it seriously at all. And that's really hurtful. Your feelings are totally valid. In a way, he's choosing marijuana over you because he needs it so much that even if it hurts you, he needs to do it.
Can he have it? Can she, what if she's around edibles?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
we have to see.
Have you made the argument?
But they're also in a place where it's not legal, so edibles might not be readily
What
available.
About vaping? Because then you're not actually dealing with the actual leaf or plant. Yeah.
But has your arguments to him been about the fact that you say that you don't care if other people smoke weed, you just don't like that he smokes weed, and you just don't like that he's doing it because it's illegal in general? Has your argument to him come from that place? Because that sounds like not
more possessive.
That sounds like a place of judgment too.
Right.
And like you guys have different lifestyle choices and you have a different side of opinions on this. But I think if you come from that place, it's like there can be something that you're like, yeah, cool, not for me, but like, I don't care if anybody else does it. But if you kind of come at it from a place of being like, I don't like that you do this. This is illegal. Like, I don't really like this. I don't like this. And you don't come from like the health perspective first. I think he's probably just being like a stubborn, like 20 something guy who's like, no, I want to be cool and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Or is there like a documentary or something? Like just come at it from the health angle more. I don't know. Maybe you are and he's just like a complete fucking idiot.
I don't know. I just think that if he can't give it up, or either he gives it up because you make him give it up and not his choice to give it up, and then he resents you, and then that's a terrible relationship, or he keeps doing it and then it hurts you physically and then it hurts you and then that's not a good relationship
because you're dead.
So the only way that this would get resolved and you would have a good healthy relationship and move on is if it was his choice and he saw how much it was hurting you and he chose out of free will to be like, you know what? I love you more than this.
Yeah.
And so really that's what it's going to have to come down to. Because otherwise, if it's just like you making him quit, that's just somewhat, he was going to want to rebel against it.
Yeah.
And he's going to resent not being able to.
Maybe he's trying to just like get that fun in before you guys live together. And you saying that he's not smoking around you and he's like respectful of that. So he's not like, you're not being bombarded necessarily with it. Your allergies getting worse. So I think like come at it from that place. But I mean, when my boyfriend and I started dating, when you said you felt like a killjoy, my life is a killjoy. Like I am the biggest killjoy. My boyfriend stopped like drinking as much as he did with his just casually or like going out, like clubbing, going out and doing that kind of like rowdy single 20-year-old guy, like just like partying hard kind of thing. Cause like I'm not into drugs and I don't drink. And so that though, it wasn't a conversation. Like I didn't have to be like, hey, by the way, like I don't really want to date somebody who like is really like a super hardcore partier. He just knew that and implemented it. But then at the same time, if he goes out with his friends, like he's still gonna like party and do that kind of thing because I'm not around and not in like a douchey way. So I don't know if there's like for him, like, is there a way that he's allowed to?
When you started dating your ex though, were your lifestyles already that way?
My current boy,
no, the one that you're talking about right now.
My current boyfriend.
Oh, it was your current boyfriend.
Yes,
okay. So were your lifestyles like that before you started dating?
I wasn't a big drinker and he was, he partied. Like
okay.
he's like,
because this girl, it sounds like that you started dating when you were 17 and then now they're 23 and people grow apart. I started dating my ex, the one that I moved to LA with, when I was 18. And then when we were 23, I just realized we were completely different.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought we were really the same when we were 18. And then after being an adult for a while and living on our own, I realized like, oh yeah, you're totally not my type at all. And it was really hard. That breakup was so hard because nobody did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And I still loved him, but I wasn't in love with him. And how do you break up with somebody like that? It was a really, really hard breakup. I had to end up doing it because he was still in love with me. But yeah, I just kind of distanced myself. So it could also, and I'm not saying this is true in your case, but you might want to examine like whether or not you guys have just grown apart and maybe this is kind of something he's doing to distance himself by not giving it up.
Yeah. Come at it from a health angle, like 100%, and like just serve him the facts. Don't have it like laden with like judgment and emotion and like disdain or like the fact that it's illegal and all this other stuff. Just focus it on it being about your health. Make sure he's educated on it so he knows the kind of decision that he's making, and then give him a chance to change. And then if he doesn't change, take that as that's what he's going to say.
Yeah. And there are other people out there. I know it sounds like, you know, this has been the most serious relationship that you've probably had in your life. So you're like, this is the one, but I swear to God, you don't have to settle. Like there are so many people and there's a person that will value you for.
There's multiple people for everybody. I'm not a believer in soulmates. I'm like, there are multiple people that you can end up with in this world, and not one of them, I don't think you're ever going to really have to settle for something like potentially going into anaphylactic shock. Well, let us know how it goes, and best of luck. Don't die.
Good luck.
I am 20 years old, and I go to a super small liberal arts school in Ohio. And okay, so the thing about going to a small liberal arts school is you either play a sport or you're in a fraternity. So keep that in mind. So I dated this guy my freshman year of high school. I'm currently in my junior year. And when we dated, it was fine. But after the fact, I realized he was such an asshole. Like, after we broke up, we hooked up a lot, and I super regret it. But, like, it got super messy. Like, he would tell people I raped him. He definitely took advantage of me. And it's just, like, super shitty. I have so many friends that are in the same fraternity as this guy that I dated. So I have super close ties with that fraternity. And now, this is where it gets tricky. Okay, so I have a crush on a boy that's in this fraternity, and, like, he would Snapchat, or, like, we Snapchat sometimes, and I always Snapchat him first, and he's, like, always the one that responds, and it's always super flirty, and two of my best friends are in this fraternity, so it's super hard to, like, cut ties with it, and I have a really hard time, like, separating myself from being, like, this guy's ex-girlfriend, and I don't know how to move past it. I feel like everyone, because I have so many close friends in this fraternity, and I feel like they all think of me as this guy's ex-girlfriend, and, like, this crush on a boy that I have, I feel like he doesn't want to date me because I'm this guy's ex-girlfriend, technically, even though it was super shitty, and I wish it never happened. So I need some help. What advice would you give a girl to, like, I don't know. I don't want to be known as this guy's ex-girlfriend, and I really, really like this guy, and I don't know how to, like, get him to think of me as, like, not this guy's ex-girlfriend.
Does this guy care?
No. And it's so hard because, I know it's such a big deal right now. I know it's such a big deal, but, like, I'm so, like, that older sibling or mom or whatever that's like, once you get over college, like, none of this will matter. Yeah. Like, this is not anything.
But also, like, I mean, I will say I definitely, I don't know. I don't know if I would call it a mistake or not. It made for a really great chapter in my book, coming out soon, guys. This spring, check it out. Pre-order my book. You're not special. Go on Amazon. But I started dating a guy, like, my second week of freshman year of college, and this is a creepy part. He was an orientation leader, and I immediately saw him, and I was like, I will date him. Like, at, like, my college orientation, like, figured out who he was, and then, like, told the girls that when I joined a sorority, and they're like, oh my God, we know him. Let's, like, go to his house. And I was, like, drunk, and I was like, I feel like we're gonna date. And he was like, sure. So we dated, like, literally, like, that's how I was introduced. And that was, like, at college. So, like, I had that title of being, like, once we broke up, I was his ex-girlfriend. Did not stop me from hooking up with other people.
Right.
Like, God, like, you can be known as that. If you were really known as that, and it was like he was harboring a lot of negative feelings, you wouldn't have friends in his fraternity. Like, that's not how it would work. They would, like, completely, like, it would, they wouldn't want to be your friend if it was that, like, such a huge deal. And this guy wouldn't be flirting with you and text. Like, this is his sign of showing you that he doesn't give a shit who you dated before.
Yes.
And you might date this guy, and then you'll be known as his ex-girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
I don't think, if this guy is still worried about and, like, talking about it, I kind of think it might be in your head.
You think this guy is flirting back?
If he's Snapchatting her?
But she's always Snapchatting him first.
But is he responding flirty?
I don't know. Did she say that? No, she just said she Snapchats.
They were flirting on Snapchat.
Well, maybe she's flirting.
Oh.
See, this is where it gets dicey because I wish I knew the details because I don't want to give you the wrong advice.
No, she did say it's always super flirty.
Oh, it's always super flirty?
Has he made a move? Like, I mean, I don't... Like,
I just feel like if a girl is showing you, like, signs that she wants to hook up and you're in a frat, I would think if it's flirty both ways that you would hook up.
Yeah.
Like, that would happen.
If you had the opportunity, I think, like, if there's an opportunity where you go to a party at their frat and, like, he's there and then he doesn't, like, flirt with you and he doesn't talk to you and he's, like, hooking up with some other girl, like, take that. Like, unless you really want to like ask him and like really get like potentially really rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, if you're, especially in college, like if you're into somebody and somebody's into you, like shit happens hella fast.
So fast.
So if you haven't given the opportunity for it to happen, and like, this is like, you've been stopping yourself because you're convinced that this other guy is like potentially going to ruin every relationship you have forward. But if you've also like given an opportunity and he hasn't kind of taken you up
that's
on
what
it,
I thought happened. I thought that she was getting rejected by him. And so I was like, hey, this isn't, you got to move on, you know,
but
baby girl.
Maybe she needs to go date somebody that's not in the fraternity. And then
girl,
date a sport guy.
You got to make the fucking rounds. This is the thing. You don't go to Pike and then you don't stay at Pike. You go to Fiji, then you go to Phi Cap, and then you go to Sig.
Yep.
Then you make the fucking rounds and you do it again. So if you start at AE Pi like me, or actually started at Phi Fiji. Okay, great. No, so you got to start, and then you can slowly come back. So then by the end of my or right before I dropped out sophomore year, I like finally came back to AU Pi, and I was like, okay, I can be here for a minute, but like don't stay in one place too long. Make like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Just like sow your wild.
There's so many routes you can go. Also, like
I know that's why I had to leave. I literally dated everybody who I was even mildly interested in. That I was like, cool, there is nobody left for me to hook up with.
Yeah,
I'm out.
If you really want to piss off this guy, you know, just
hook up with his big bro.
Yes.
Not little bro. Big
I was
bro
just going to say all
more.
of his friends, you know, and then it's like, now you're not this guy's ex. You're a girl that, you know, likes to hook up with people.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And stay safe. Protection. Because also don't get STDs.
Mm-hmm. Revenge glow up.
Yeah. And then also a revenge glow up.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll glow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dim.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I love it.
Dim down.
Okay, guys, we're going on a break, and we will be back.
Bye.
Bye. It's that time of year again when everyone is thinking about gifts and how great my singing voice is. What about giving yourself the gift of an Audible membership? Guys, you know that I am a huge fan of Audible. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. Secondly, Audible has an unbeatable selection of audio books. Guys, as you know, I have ADHD. I can't really focus to sit down and read a lot of the time. I also spend a lot of time in my car, which is why I love podcasts and also why I started a podcast. But I've been listening to books on tape since I was a little child, in which I listened to Wolf Story by William McCleary on a literal tape for years and years and years and years. And now I've moved over to Audible. I mean, not just moved over, like I've been listening since college. I've been listening to cassettes this whole time. Till yesterday. I was years old when I learned that cassettes weren't still a thing. So Mott's and I are doing our own mini book club. He's way, way, way ahead of me. And we are listening to the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which if you're a fan of true crime, you will know that this is the book about the Golden State Killer. Guys, I won't give any spoilers, which that seems weird that you'd think there's like a spoiler in the book. But no, guys, it's so good. It's riveting. I'm a huge fan of it. And I find that listening to somebody read it to me as opposed to just reading it, like looking with my eyes, it's a little less freaky and a little less scary, but at the same time, it's more like storytelling-y. So I'm really focused. So they're throwing out all these like crime facts and I'm completely riveted. So guys, give yourself the gift of listening. You can listen on any device, anytime, anywhere. And while you're at it, think about giving the gift of Audible to someone on your list. Don't be selfish. I mean, get it for yourself and then get it for somebody else too. I do that a lot where I buy someone a gift and I'm like, this is nice for you, one for me. Go to audible.com/blame or text blame to 500-500 and browse their bestsellers, motivation, mysteries, thrillers, sci-fi, memoirs, and more. Try it out. And guys, as an Audible member, you can choose 3 titles every month, 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals that you can't hear anywhere else. Plus, bonus, your books are yours to keep. No one's taking them back from you. With Audible, you can go back and re-listen to any book at any time, even if you cancel your membership. Didn't like your audiobook? Exchange it. No questions asked. I love that policy. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 3 months of Audible for just $6.95 a month. That's more than half off the regular price. Go to audible.com/blame or text blame to 500-500. instead of buying new things, head to Poshmark to shop from millions of closets across America. Guys, I am a huge fan of Poshmark. I've used Poshmark for, quite some time now. I'm definitely a conscious shopper. Unless I'm really having a time of it, I'm not going to just go balls to the wall and buy things without researching things. But because of that, I often miss out and talk myself out of buying things. And then I have FOMO or regret of not getting something. Case in point, a SoulCycle sweatshirt that says Marin on the background. And if you didn't know, on the back of the sweatshirt, this is not an iPhone screen, guys. I grew up in Marin County and I really, really wanted this sweatshirt, and then I didn't buy it and it was sold out. So I searched high and low, and I kept going on to Poshmark every single week until somebody in Marin, thank you, whoever didn't want that sweatshirt anymore, sold it. And I was so incredibly excited. I've also sold some of my old things on Poshmark. I'm just a huge, huge, huge fan. You know those trendy things that you're I don't really want to spend all this money on this. It's more ecologically friendly, and you can find things that maybe you missed out on. Some of the brands that I really love on Poshmark are Free People. If you're a huge fan of Show Me Your Moo, I actually got one of my favorite Moo sweaters on there because it sold out too fast on the website. And they've also got Lululemon, and you can get purses and shoes and all that great stuff. So I really, really, really love it for me, but it's also great for gifts this holiday season. If you know your friend is super into, a brand of clothes that you're wow, this is crazy expensive, you can get it discounted, gently used, and even new with tags. Poshmark is the easiest way to buy and sell fashion items. You guys can download the free Poshmark app to shop from tons of brands, women's, kids, and men's. If you've got a man in your life, or you're a man and you're hey, you know what I need? Men things. Actually, we can all wear whatever we want. You guys won't believe the deals that you'll find there. There's Louis Vuitton bags there for $300. That's way, 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 way less than they normally are. And the SoulCycle sweatshirt, I think that I got originally retailed for, around $100, and I got it for 38 or 40, which had new with tags as well. It was great. Shipping is super fast and easy for both the seller and the buyer, and it's all handled through the Poshmark app. So when you guys see something that you want, simply make the seller an offer so you can get the items at a price that works for you. It's like haggling, except much more friendly and not face-to-face, so it's way less stressful. And this holiday season, instead of wasting all of your time standing in line at stores, you can shop for everyone from the comfort of your own home, which is how I like to shop, not leaving my house. Find all of your favorite brands like Nike, Lululemon, and more for up to 70% off only at Poshmark. And today, guys, you can get $5 off your first purchase when you enter the invite code BLAME5 when you sign up. Just download the Poshmark app, sign up, and enter code BLAME5 for $5 off your first purchase. Guys, it's no secret that I hate pants. Is that a good way to start this? Sure. I'm a huge fan of being comfortable more than I am being cute. But you know what really, really makes me happy? When I can combine those things, and that is why I'm talking about MyFit jeans with you guys today. And I just got my pair of MyFit jeans, and they are incredibly comfortable. And jeans, jeans is kind of a bad word sometimes. Sometimes you think of jeans and you think of wow, I'm being suffocated, or wow, I'm going to have the imprint of a button underneath my belly button for 3 days, or wow, I really hope I don't sweat because these aren't coming off my body. But these are not those kinds of jeans. These are made from the softest fabric called Flex Tech Denim, and these jeans conform to your waist, offering a perfect fit that won't ever bag or sag, or lag, or be a rag on... I can't think of any other words that have or drag you down. Yeah, someone else help me with that word. MyFit jeans are designed for all women, which is awesome because, not all women are the same size. And you can find your fit in these jeans in 2 sizes, guys. Now, don't worry. It's not one of those things where you're oh, wow, okay, cool, 2 sizes. You mean the 2 smallest ones? No, there's 2 fits, stunning and gorgeous. Which, can we just change all fits to be like that? So it's yeah, I'm actually a stunning, and I'm also gorgeous. Size stunning fits regular sizes 2 to 12, and size gorgeous fits 14 to 20. So you guys are going to fit in whatever. This is literally sister to the traveling pants. Like, I can share jeans with anybody. Both of these styles come in dark wash, light wash, and black. I have the black pair just because I was desperately in need for some black jeans that didn't make me feel like I was being suffocated by denim. Everybody looks great in these jeans. Let me know if you guys want me to post a Instagram thought picture of me, like where I'm like sitting on a counter if you need proof. You can check out photos on myfitjeans.com, Instagram, and Facebook to see for yourself. Or again, guys, let me know if you need me to do a thoughty post. You can try them risk-free for 60 days, and if you're not fully satisfied, you can return them for a full refund, which is my favorite way to buy things. It's non-committal, which I'm a fan of commitment. But sometimes you gotta test drive the car before you drive it off the lot. They even cover shipping. Gosh, I love that. I don't like paying for shipping. I'd rather pay for an item. I know that you guys are going to love My Fit Jeans, and right now they're offering our listeners an exclusive deal. Buy one pair, get 15% off, and if you buy two, the second pair is 50% off. That is half off. It's like buying one and one leg, but you're actually buying 4 legs, Just go to myfitjeans.com and enter code BLAME. That is enter code BLAME. Did you get all that, guys? Go to myfitjeans.com and enter code BLAME to get 15% off your first pair of My Fit Jeans. If you buy 2, you'll get the second pair at 50% off. Just use code BLAME, BLAME, for this unbelievable deal at myfitjeans.com.
Okay, everybody, we are back from our break.
Did you miss us?
Oh my God, I was just going to say that.
We're like on the same level now.
We finish each other's
sandwiches.
That's what I was just saying. Okay, let's hop back into calls.
I'm 21, and so I am a junior in college, and I am exploring, the dating world again after breaking up with my boyfriend of 3 years, and I've just kind of run into some assholes, if I'm being honest. And one particular asshole, we met on Tinder, which was kind of weird for me. I wasn't super comfortable with it, but anyways, irrelevant. We met on Tinder, and I'm really, really short. I'm 4'10", and he is 5'6" or 5'5" or something like that. And he honestly comes off as having little man syndrome. I'm not a doctor or anything, but that's honestly what it seems like. And he just has no chill. And we stopped talking. I was fed up with him. We got into an altercation, and I just was you know what, you're kind of an asshole. And so he, was still following me on social media, and saw I'm not kidding, months later, that I've been talking to another guy and posting pictures with him, and he's wow, you're a hoe. And I'm what do you mean I'm a hoe? And he's well, you probably started having sex with that guy within minutes or something like that. And I'm what? What does that have to do with anything? I was we had sex pretty off the bat. What is that? What does that matter? And he's only because I asked you to. And it's just super backwards, and it honestly stresses me out that I'm having to deal with this. He was you're a hoe, you're a bitch. I know that he's jealous, but I don't know why this bothers me. But why does it bother him? And how can I tell this kid off and just be get the fuck away? And I see him sometimes in passing at school. So I'd like to know what to do, because this kid stresses me out.
Oh my God.
I'll just block him on everything.
Yeah. I mean, this is the kind of guy that wants you to respond.
Yeah.
And my original advice would have been just fucking ignore it. Yeah. As somebody who's confrontational and loves to tell somebody off, especially at school, on campus, in front of other people. I love that. Anytime any of my friends got cheated on, the friends I had in college for 5 minutes, I was let me talk to him in the library during finals week. even someone who's super confrontational, like if somebody else is like confronting you in that situation, that's because they want a reaction. Yeah. And like the most upset you're going to get him, and the way that you're really going to get under his skin is to not fucking respond.
Yeah.
And block him.
It'll feed him if you respond.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what type of attention it is. He just wants your attention.
My friends and I we've started realizing and talking about the fact that no matter how you treat a guy is going to feel the same way about you. Like, so we've decided, like, if you want to date with a guy and if I'm really interested in him, he's going to be as interested as he is, like, no matter what. If I'm a total dick to him, he's still going to be completely as interested as he was before that. This guy, like, if you give him, no matter what you do, he's going to come at you with like the same, if you match what he's doing this because he's enjoying getting this rise out of you. Like, you're not proving any sort of point at all. Like,
yeah.
He's getting off on that kind of confrontation and drama. So even if it's something that you're like, if I heard someone say this to me, this would really help me. Like, no, you have to go about it from a completely different tactic because he's being the aggressive one. So like, he's still
obsessed with you. Yeah. So block him. Isn't it nice you can block people's phone numbers now? I remember like 7 years ago, you couldn't block, and my ex would like, text or call or whatever. And I actually had to use a service that made it sound like my number was out of order when that number called. I forgot what that service was. I think it was called it was You something. I can't remember. But yeah. And so I told him, I'm changing my number. And then whenever he would call, it sounded like I did change my number.
Oh, that's
That was the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
And I blocked him on Facebook. Anywhere I could block him, I blocked him. Instagram wasn't really around yet.
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's weird.
I know. I've recently started getting into muting people on Instagram.
I love that.
This is liberating.
Yes. It's like YouTube comments, like the way that it happened. It doesn't really ban people anymore, but it just hides them from anyone else seeing what they're saying.
Like, I love this. It's like without starting drama, and you just get to kind of like walk away from it. And I was gonna say the reason why this bothers you is because he's being a dick. Like, that's why. Like, if someone talks to you terribly, like someone calls you a hoe, like that's gonna bother you. And I don't think, like, you don't owe him any sort of explanation. And I think also there's maybe potentially, if this was me in the situation, so I'm projecting, there's kind of like a part of you that, like, when you are happy with this other guy, there is something a little bit flattering about another guy coming out of the woodwork being like, I mean, that happened when my boyfriend and I started dating. I had like a couple guys that I were talking to before. They're like, oh, wow, so you're dating someone new? And I responded because I was like, oh, wow, I feel so hot and desirable right now. This is so cool. But then ultimately I was like, oh no, you're just like being like a sore loser and like kind of a dick because like I wasn't into you. And now I'm happy, but like, why am I wasting me being happy talking to somebody who, even at the time when I didn't have another you were the person I was seeing, I was like, yeah, no, I'd rather be single than date you. And now I'm not single and happy. Why the fuck am I giving you the time of day?
Exactly.
Like, you don't gain anything from it. And if you see him on campus, like literally just ignore him. Nothing's going to piss him off more and send him into like an embarrassing rage that someone's going to capture and like put on Twitter, and it's going to like blow up and be viral.
Act like you don't recognize him. I love that.
Oh
like,
my God.
Wait, what was your name again?
If you want to be, oh no, because I'm being really bitchy and that's mean to short people because I'm tall. So I can't make that, but I'm not going to say it, but Yeah. And also I do love the fact that a doctor could diagnose
for short man syndrome. Well, you have a case of short man syndrome.
That's what I have here on your charts. I see you are under 5'6". You have some aggression issues, and you DM people on Instagram who don't respond to you and call them a whore. You're like, oh, okay, small man syndrome. Well, yeah. Best of luck and good luck with the new guy.
Congrats on the new guy.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next.
I went out with this guy back in high school, my senior year in 2016. Recently, I ran into one of his family members, and I asked how he was doing because I knew he had got married. He was a really great Christian guy, just like me, and we kind of hit it off, but he left for school to Florida. And I ran to one of his family members, and they're like, yeah, well, he's not doing too well. You should check his wife's Facebook page. So I check his Facebook page, and it turned out that in 2015, a year before we dated, he murdered somebody on accident. He shot him on accident and then hid the body. Period. I'm not really sure how to feel about this, and I'm not really sure if I should reach out because he still is a good Christian man and we're still friends. And so I'm just not really sure how to feel about this. Anyways, so yeah, he murdered him on accident, and then he hid the body, and he had his car crushed. And he's married now, but he served 15 years in prison. So I'm just not really sure how to feel about this. And I thought I'd get your advice. Okay, bye.
Okay, I just need to...
I just want to say, I think you missed the part because you were laughing, but
God.
he crushed the car after he hid the body.
I definitely missed that part.
Yeah. My God. Okay, let's just have like a little bit of like just, okay, you can't accidentally murder someone. Also, that would be involuntary manslaughter. Like, let's just talk about that. Like,
and also he's convicted then because he's going to prison.
And he hid the body.
Yeah. So you're tampering with the crime scene. And
he's guilty.
It's not even like a hit and run where he just like left. Like he literally, okay, first of all.
Wait, isn't it in the Bible to not kill?
Yeah.
So
thou shalt not kill.
How he accidentally murdered someone.
But he's a good Christian man.
How he's not
he's not very good at being Christian because
you can't
lost
kill. Me. Isn't that like,
I feel like
kill. That's the number one.
Pretty sure you can't do that.
My God.
He's a bad Christian.
Homie, no offense, what's up with you? Like, girl, we gotta talk. You should feel really disgusted by this guy.
Yes.
And honestly, not to shit on you, probably she'd feel, if this was me, I'd be like, wow, I'm a fucking idiot for going out with this guy.
Yeah, dodged a bullet.
Thank God I dodged.
Because it happened after.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, how, like, I'm glad that I didn't spend more time with him and like, I'm okay. And that I don't know, like shit, I need to reevaluate my picker and like figure out if I wasn't picking up on something sketchy as fuck.
It was just 2 years ago.
Yes. You should feel weird as shit.
Very weird. And the murder happened in 2015.
And she went out with him in 2016.
It's been 3 years also. Yeah. So
he has 147
the whole time he was with her and afterwards he felt no guilt or any sort of thing
didn't update my friend. Okay. Granted, my friend went on a date with this guy who was, he had like he literally, their first date, he's like, by the way, I just want to let you know, I have a court date coming up. I've committed about 4 different felonies. And she was like, okay, granted, she stayed for like the rest of the day because she wanted to hear like, what happened.
I'd be definitely interested.
He told her on the first fucking date. And like, even this guy, my friend and I have agreed, like he's pretty much scum. He didn't tell us exactly what he did, but just figuring out how many felonies, like they're only like what are considered felonies. We like figured out arson must have been involved. Like this guy's not good.
Right.
And even he managed to tell her on her first fucking date.
Well, it's so that like, you have a choice. Like you get to know, okay, I'll stay with you willingly knowing that. Or
it's like having a kid or not. Like that's like being like, this is something that would like potentially affect it doesn't
the relationship.
It affects everybody.
Yes.
I'm potentially taking a job in China.
And how is she still like, I'm sorry, how are you still defending him and knowing that the murdered guy's family is like looking for a body all of these years and now they finally get closure and you're like, I feel bad for the murderer ex-boyfriend I had.
And also, I'm not to like make this about religion because I'm not religious, but like being a good, like just because you're a Christian doesn't like
mean you're good.
Mean you're a good person.
No.
And it also like I'm not shitting on anybody's religion as long as your religion doesn't like affect other people and like say that other people's existence that other people shouldn't exist or invalidate or take away other people's rights. Believe what you want to believe, whatever makes you. Whatever
feels true to you.
Yeah, and like satiates you and gives you that feeling of like hope and all of those things. That's great as long as it's about for you. But somebody was fucking killed in this and you're using that as a blanket statement for like, he's still a good guy.
Just because you're Christian doesn't make you good.
No.
I mean, I was raised Catholic and then I was Christian and then now I'm spiritual and like have a relationship with God, but like I'm not part of a religion. And one of the things I didn't like about religion was the structure and this notion that as long as you're part of this church, then you're a good person or you're a bad person if you're not part of this church. That to me, that doesn't define your character.
No.
This like being part or not part of something. You need to see this person as an individual, not as someone that's part of your group, but as a person that's an individual that made these choices on his own that were actually against your religion. So,
because it's like a moral issue. That's the thing. It's like, it's a moral issue. Like someone can be a part of any sort of organization, but if their morals, that's what speaks for them. Like it doesn't matter. You don't it's not a get out of jail free card. Like you did something hella fucked up morally.
And they took away someone else's right to live.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's like...
And hid it.
And hid it. Like,
that's the worst.
Girl, like watch good God, like just forensic files. Watch some crime shit and
Dude,
realize
I've been
like
obsessed with Making a Murderer because season 2 just came out, and I'm just like, we just finished it last night, and it's just, oh my God, I'm so into all that shit. But yeah,
God, it's just, and also like, it just pisses me off because there's like so much sadness for people who like when involuntary manslaughter is a thing, like somebody who's got a substance abuse problem, got behind the wheel and killed somebody while they were drunk driving. And that guilt that those people must feel, and they do, like walking around this whole time knowing that they hurt someone unintentionally because of like a selfish choice or something like that was happened like that. And then you're putting this guy in that category. When,
or
like,
even if they didn't have a problem, like, so my neighbor hit somebody and killed him. But this guy was jaywalking, and it was during an hour of the morning where the sun was like perfectly blocking that. And there was no crosswalk or anything. And my neighbor like ran him over at like 45 miles an hour. And he was just like, whoa, what, just in so much shock for like weeks and months, just like didn't know how to feel, was just sobbing uncontrollably, could not handle that he like killed somebody. That's an accident.
Yeah.
Shooting someone and hiding the body and crushing a car, that's not an accident.
No.
We need definitions for words.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, again, accidental murder is not a thing. Murder involves intent to kill. So I think you need to figure out like on your end, like,
why do you want to reach out to him?
Yeah.
Right. And like, the family member told you to check the wife's Facebook page. So are you friends with the wife too?
Yeah. And also, how long did you like date for this to be like, no matter who I fucking dated from my past, like my high school boyfriend, it could have like, I found out now that he like accidentally killed somebody, or purposefully in his case. And my instinct wouldn't be like, I should reach out to him to see how he's doing. My instinct would be like, oh my God, I wonder how that family is doing of that person. Like that is so heartbreaking and sad.
Right.
Like,
you know what? I kind of feel like maybe, because I'm just trying to understand the mindset of what would make you want to reach out. Sometimes maybe it's a little sexy to be part of the drama. Like something big happens and you're like, oh shit, I was part of that. Yeah. Or I was part of that guy's life. So that's the only thing I can think of. And then you just need to check your own self. Like, what is your intention for this?
Yeah. And you just need, that's what you need to figure out. And you need to not reach out to him and focus on guys who can be a part of, that's what you want to date, people a part of your religious organization, but people who are good people and
like actually good people.
Yeah. And not just, oh, cool, he's Christian, so therefore he's a good person. So focus on like the people amongst that.
He talked about God a lot and like recited verses, so therefore he's a good person.
Yeah. So if he shoots somebody, it's okay. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
We said a Hail Mary first. So
oh my God. Holy goddamn tits.
He got married like a year, I guess it would have been soon, right after he dated you. So no, not at all. Just think about this as something, this is a great story to tell people at parties. If you listen to the podcast, My Favorite Murder, you can do your hometown on this and be like, let me tell you guys the story about this. Great. Use it for that. But like, by no means is this like anything that you should be thinking anything else besides like, thank God that wasn't me. And oh God, I need to make sure to ask any guy I date from now on, hey, have you killed anybody before?
Accidentally murdered someone?
Yeah. Have you murdered someone and hit a body and crushed a car?
Just need to check because that happened.
Also, his poor fucking wife. I hope they don't have kids.
What if the wife is like, he's a good Christian man though?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
I can.
Yeah.
It's not a good. Maybe,
Interesting. It's very interesting.
Well, I wonder, but also she probably did say something like that because how else would she know that he was accidentally murdered someone?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I like how the family member just didn't say it outright. She was, they're like,
check,
just go look at his wife's Facebook.
It's like some drama. It's like, ooh, did you hear? You need to go check this out for yourself. Yeah. Because like I remember this guy at my high school, he got killed in a bad drug deal. Like he was the one doing the bad drug deal thing. And he had just texted me the night before. And I thought it was so creepy, like and I got like kind of obsessed with what happened. Yeah. Because it was just so kind of close to me. And so in a way, that's the only way I can think that maybe you're like, ooh, I should reach out because you were at one point close to that person and now they did something fucked up and got themselves in a terrible situation. But really just like get at peace with it with yourself and let it go.
Yeah. Well, is it time for, what are we calling it?
Melissa's happiest hour or Melissa's moments?
No, it's time for listener advice.
Woo woo!
If you guys have a better name, we're workshopping it. So let us know.
You can hear her uncertainty. Listeners,
Bye. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's make it shiny.
Yeah, sparkles. So this is the part where people call in with their own advice with the other calls that we've had for different episodes. So something that they might have personal experience with. Sometimes cool. I get yelled at for doing something wrong, but I don't like Liz when she picks those ones. So, but it's nice, but for ones that we have no relation to. So maybe from this episode, somebody will call in and be like, I also dated somebody who murdered somebody.
Hi, I'm 22 years old, and I just had some insight on the episode with Andrea Russett for the girl who said that she got drunk and her coworker's husband or fiance ended up sexually assaulting her, and she hooked up with her friend, or they finally got sexually intimate with her friend of 5 years. I kind of did the same thing after I was raped at 16, and it was my first sexual experience, and it was horrible, but I did the same thing. I ended up going on Tinder like 3 months later and just getting my body back, being in control and having sex with guys. So I felt like I was in control, and I didn't tell any of them. None of them asked me why I was doing what I was doing. I didn't tell anybody. And honestly, my advice to her is that you don't need to tell anybody. I do advise that if you do want to talk about it, you do see somebody, a therapist, or they also have groups, therapy groups for multiple people who have been in this situation or who have been sexually assaulted. So just knowing that you are not alone. And like Meghan said with the Me Too movement, there's so many women and even males that go through sexual assault and go through these traumatic events, and you're never alone. And I just wanted to share that with her, that she's not alone and she doesn't have to tell anybody. If I didn't tell anybody until like 6 years after the actual event happened, and that was like my first serious boyfriend. We were actually even engaged, and he was the first person I ever told.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Makes me so like, I think we had said this in the reference to the Me Too thing in that call, that I was like, it sucks that so many people totally relate to this story. And like, yeah, proof in that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think
I'm happy like the finding your healing of like taking your body back, like whatever works for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Cause it's not about anybody else.
No.
Like at all. Like, and yeah. Because that wasn't about, it's also like taking your body back. That's about like your control and your power and that, and like and sexuality and that, and like, like feeling like a sexual being and like feeling like hot and sexy and powerful. And it's not about like an act of like rage and something that's not, they're two totally unrelated things that suck, that they're like that they're the same physical act that gets correlated. I think group therapy sounds like a really like great idea, especially if like anybody who's listening to this who has any sort of similar experience, which sadly is probably a lot of people. If you don't want to talk to like a therapist, it might be really nice to do like something group related, to hear other people's stories and kind of how they're healing from that. And then also that sense of, okay, everybody's kind of dealing with this stuff together, so you don't feel as alone. And so I think that'd be a great call for anybody who's doing that. And thank you so much for calling and sharing that, because you totally didn't have to. And I'm sure hopefully that she hears that and feels better about it too. Because that was a dark one.
Yeah.
Like not a fun one.
Yeah.
on that note, guys, our episode is done. Yay. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Great,
this was really
advice.
fun. Thank you. Hope someone got something out of that.
And I'm glad we have another college dropout here to really even out.
Yes. All the college that's happening.
How long did you go for?
A year and like, I don't know, a month of the next semester.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go us.
Yeah, go us. Follow your path. Follow your, journey.
Speaking of following, where can people follow you on the internet?
Oh my gosh, good segue. At Nikki Limo is my handle on everything. It's NIKKILIMO. I also have a podcast called Shit They Don't Tell You with my husband. It's when we talk about all the shit that we wish that people told us that they didn't, about like finance, relationships, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
So.
My friends and I constantly have this ongoing joke where we say we feel like we missed the class on something.
Yes.
We're like, so did I miss the class on like when?
How do people know this thing?
And like any of those things. Yeah. So I'm like, did I miss? When did we all learn how to do this? Because I didn't.
Was it in the college that I missed?
Yeah, I always ask my friends who went to college. Like, no, I didn't learn this. Like, okay, this is weird then. Why do I not know?
Yeah.
Like stocks, bonds. If you always want to follow Melissa and I on socials, we'll also be listed down below. And if you want to call in for an upcoming episode, the phone number is 310-694-0976. The international listeners, all y'all's international listeners, can email us an audio file at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. The YouTube video, guys, for watch this will be up today.
At the same time.
So you guys can you listen to it. Good job. Now, do you want to watch it? Do you want to see our outfits?
Or if you watched it, just go listen to it in your car.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like back to back. Never enough. Maybe listen to it on slow speed and then listen fast.
Something. Yeah.
True. Like me in that call about the murder
the car crushing.
The car crushing.
I mean, none of us caught it. Except for Melissa.
And if you want to check out our website, it's don'tblameme.show. Our Instagram is don'tblamemepod. Don't blame me pod. Fuck, it's so hard. I can only say don't blame meme pod. You can check us out there. And yeah, right? That's it. That's our housekeeping.
That's everything, yeah.
I'm very impressed that you memorized a phone number.
Oh, it took months.
A while.
It took like, it should.
Yeah. We like lost that ability in 2018.
Oh,
like nobody
I only know, if anything happened, I don't know my boyfriend's phone number.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you his area code.
Really?
No, 7 something.
I didn't memorize my husband's until he became my husband because I was like, oh, I should know that like as your wife if it's like official.
My emergency like if someone, it's like, I don't know, I got shot or something, knock on wood, I don't. And they're like, what's a number right now? The number I'd be able to give is my best friend in San Francisco. Like,
or you can give this number.
Honest
check
to God, I would have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to give the podcast number if I like got in trouble. That's it. And then I know Aislin's phone number because her area code is one off.
Aislinn is good enough.
I'm not calling that number.
It's not
gonna
help in Canada.
No, but I only know her area code because there's only one number off from my area code.
Do you have it listed in your phone?
I do, but I'm saying like if like top of my head.
Got it.
Yeah.
I could have a couple of my friends' home phone numbers that they don't live at the house anymore. Have those still stocked. Every Hannah Montana lyric still up there.
Yep. Yeah.
But,
no problem with song lyrics.
Yeah. No, none of the actual important phone numbers. But yeah.
They don't want you to memorize phone numbers.
They don't want you to know phone numbers.
They want you to be dependent on this phone.
Yeah. Fuck it. Okay. Okay, guys. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced, directed, and edited by Melissa DeMons. Post-production sound by Chris Henry, production assistant Julie Carley, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I'll see you guys next week, and don't blame me if your life, completely fucks up before then. Oh.